What's up, guys? My name is Emrose and I do a lot of stuff. Welcome to my vlog. I'm just bringing you along this week on a few little tasks and some creative projects. And we're also going to talk about some like art and creator world drama that's been going on very recently. Okay? But the first thing I'm going to do, and the reason why we're sitting here, is I'm going to rearrange this bookshelf. As you can kind of see, maybe from a glance, it's not super organized and we have a lot of little doodads on there. I just want to make it a little cuter, and I've been procrastinating on it because it's going to take some time and it's been super hot in here. I have the fan going right in front of me, so I'm crossing my fingers about the audio because I'm using my little device for it, my little portable mic, but I'm not super certain how good it is, okay? So I'm gonna spend a couple minutes taking everything down, and then let's chat about some of the wild stuff that's been going on in this world, okay? All right, let's go. We put a lot of our series, a lot of like genre fiction too, in our bedroom. I'll show you the shelf. It's so cool. It's one of my favorite things we've gotten for this apartment. I love it. Whew. Okay. So what I try to do is I try to put all my graphic novels together, and then all of the fiction together, sort of sorted by author if possible. That's coherent. And then I have a lot of like academic books, both from my time in college and from Lily's time in med school. So we're going to try and go through those. And then sometimes I separate out more like classic fiction. The Tolkien is taking up a large amount of this shelf right here. But I'm going to try to sort the pile a little bit more. So let's talk about Sticker Mule. If you don't know, Sticker Mule is a very popular sticker printer and other sorts of like merch supplier. I think they do a lot of acrylic charms and keychains. Here, let me just look up their website. So, labels, t-shirts, it looks like that kind of thing. I have used Sticker Mule before. I think they have really like aggressive like Google ads because they're really one of the first things that comes up when you are looking for sticker suppliers, and their deals are pretty good. Like, I wouldn't say they're the best, but they're very obvious, easy to navigate, and sometimes they have good deals for like very low quantities in particular, which is good for small artists and for if you're trying out a supplier and you don't know how good their quality is. What do you guys see? Are you just wondering? You just wondering about me? Okay, that all is background. I'm not trying to make Sticker Mule sound good. The story is actually going in the other direction. But that kind of explains like why this company is so very, very ubiquitous. It literally like they have a sponsored search at like the top of every possible search about sticker suppliers. Okay, and that's really important for people who have like Etsy shops or businesses or whatever. They've been wild for a long time, and I personally, I like dabble with running an art shop, right? And Sticker Mule has been off my list for a long time because they are very conservative and they're invested in a lot of projects that I am not interested in, right? They've been on my no, I don't want my dollars going to that kind of thing for a very, very long time. It's so weird because they make it rather obvious what they're interested in, but you do have to be paying attention to kind of like their marketing materials, their newsletters, and particularly their Twitter or X. Yeah, so I've been subscribed to like their text alerts and their newsletters just out of a sort of like strange and like disgusted curiosity for a long time, because they have all these like kind of extra business aspects, such as like, well, the probably most innocent one is like hot sauce. Like they have a hot sauce brand for whatever reason, but they've also been involved in things like just like crypto stuff. For some reason, they have like their own social media platform called Stimulus. Stimulus was founded by Anthony Constantino. Is that the Sticker Mule guy? Yeah. So he's the owner of Sticker Mule, and he's super pro-Trump. It's kind of interesting. I guess they launched Stimulus as like kind of a Twitter competitor, but he seems like really into Elon Musk. To be honest, they do like Cybertruck giveaways, a lot of crypto stuff they're really into, just like bad news, right? And he's pretty open about his political opinions and how he's like a Trumper. So to me, I was like, I'm not taking my business there. But if other people were, I don't think it was the hugest deal. It's a little bit different than like the business itself being used for political pursuits, but that all changed this week because they mass sent out, and no, Mr. Anthony Constantino sent out this mass email newsletter about how everybody who's like ever purchased stickers from Sticker Mule. Did I get this? For some reason, I did not get this email, which is so funny. I'll put a screenshot of this email on the screen, pause to read if you're interested. There has also been a follow-up. This is a very perplexing, and they use like the official company Sticker Mule social media, like the Instagram even, to post that picture of Trump like raising his fist in front of the American flag with this message that he emailed out. I guess he felt a lot of political conviction, and he really wanted everybody whose email he had ever collected to know, except not me, apparently. I must have unsubscribed from that section of the email list at some point. Dang, he looks very young. I wonder what he's about. I wonder how old he is. Could I have gone to college with him? His age does not appear to be on the internet. Who's going to make a Wikipedia page for this man and add the controversy section? This email has lost them a lot of customers for good reason, but I think that like makes him feel even more repressed. It's bad news. It's bad news like for the political situation overall. Okay, I'm thinking about making like a distinct TBR pile. I have this book. I think this is going to be my next read. And then I also really need to read this. And then I was going to put House of Leaves in there for this year at some point. Yeah, it's very like, we need to be nice to people who vote for Trump. Then it's like, buy some shirts with Trump's face on it. That's all I'm going to say to summarize the situation. You can dig into it more. I will leave some links to articles about it. But what I want to talk about is how difficult it is in this sort of like business as person world that we live in. How difficult it is to be a consumer and to have like any sort of ethical code that you're operating under, because like Sticker Mule, like I said, has been wild for quite some time. I wasn't like running around tisk-tisking anybody who still purchased from them, but after now, I mean, I think that might be different. I don't know, it's kind of weird to ask, like, at what point, at what threshold does it become such a big news item that like really everyone ought to know? But also, it's so weird to me that companies are more and more rigidly like standing for certain political things, and specifically the political leanings of like one singular owner of the company, one person who is really, really steering that. Because can you imagine Anthony, like maybe he has access to the email marketing for them. It seems like he might be the kind of guy who does that, but if he's not, he typed this up and then he went over to the email marketer and was like, I need to send this morning. Like, no planning, no strategy, no argument from the newsletter team or the experts, like saying, hey, are you sure this is a good idea? Like, he just went for that. I don't know, that's so messed up to me. So I feel like every time I shop for anything or make like a purchase of any level, I have to be like in Google typing in the brand name plus scandal plus controversy, or if I'm wondering about like any particular person, or like, God forbid, I mean, listen, I'm not an influencer, but I do make content and I do hope to get sponsorships someday. And like, I'm going to try to uncover any dirt on any company that ever reaches out to me. But I've seen so many influencers like fail to realize that before they accept sponsorships, and then you're contractually tied to them, and it's like a whole thing. I don't know. I don't think this is a very like sustainable situation for creators. I think it's pretty bad news. I'm gonna put this last stack on here and maybe do some tweaking around, but I'm gonna pause the video here. Anyways, really not into this idea that Trump people are being bullied. I really feel as though that is projection, and that's not where my money will be going. I will be encouraging others to take their money elsewhere. I do think it is a little bit of a cautionary tale for all of us to just be really scrupulous. Obviously, we're all going to make mistakes sometimes, but yeah, he's been pretty loud about this, just not like in your inbox loud most of the time. I'm not sure where all of them are going to go yet, but this is tidied up quite a bit.
With someone, you don't have to pathologize why they rub you the wrong way. Maybe she isn't a pick me. Maybe she's just...
Hi guys, it's the next day. I'm vibing in my pajama pants. I just wanted to give you a few parting thoughts on Sticker Mule as the situation has developed since I talked about it yesterday. They have sent another email doubling down on their thoughts and feelings, and they have also very publicly posted replies to their newsletter with people's full names and email addresses. Now, those replies do include some threats that I very much do not condone. I don't understand why people feel the need to send death threats in really any situation, but especially when, I don't know, what this Sticker Mule guy is doing is just kind of like troll behavior, right? So definitely do not get yourself that riled up. Do not recommend that. I also think it's very unprofessional to be publishing these things on your Twitter. So those are my thoughts. I would recommend unsubscribing from anything that you have with them. I would recommend deleting your account. You're going to have to do it yourself. I don't think support is going to help you in any way, and they may roast you on their social platforms if you ask them to do it. So I'm sorry, I'm like lost in the sauce of their social media. This post does say, I gave $2,500 bonuses to all 79 people on our support team because they received death threats. That must stop, but on the bright side, we paid out not $195,000 in bonuses. If people expressing hate towards us want to feel good about something, they can take credit for helping our support team earn sizable bonuses. I hope my message supporting Donald Trump and encouraging respect for all people becomes a learning moment for everyone. Things go on. I can't imagine all of his 79-person support team agrees with the messaging he has sent out, but at least they have reaped some benefits of it. And I'm going to leave it there. I'm feeling very split between a great many things, and I don't want to be. However, I push forward. After I finish up 2 tasks, I'm going to start writing and write for as long as I'm able to endure. So what I've decided to do is write about 5,000 words, or like a equivalent of like a short story, for the beginning of both of my projects. And after that happens, I'm going to try to like assess how I want to move forward. Do I want to continue writing both at the same time? Do I want to focus on one? Are the ideas even working out, or do I need to like kind of go back to the drawing page? What is it? The drawing board. I don't think I'll have to completely restart on either of these. I think they're pretty good, but the one that I'm working on right now is very much not outlined. So that's kind of interesting. I'm finding that I'm very excited to find out what happens next when I don't outline, and I find that very motivating compared to already knowing the end. You know, some of the things I'm trying to work on and develop are complicated, and outlining becomes like very necessary in those situations, I think. So I am warm. I am going to stop talking now and sit in front of the air conditioner. And I don't know, maybe I'll post some videos. And none of my TikToks are really popping off. Everybody just wants to see some like really old Crayola air dry clay videos I posted. But enough talking. I'll check in with you later when I'm working on something a little bit more visually intriguing. Okay?
Walking on solid ground their whole life and suddenly has stepped into the marsh.
What's up, guys? The way I have my phone balanced is kind of messed up. But I'm here. It's Friday. I'm doing a little clay project. So since I was working on like the bookshelf earlier when we were chatting, I was like, oh my god, there's this DIY I wanted to do. It's very Pinteresty. I'll show you some pictures of the original product. It's basically like this vase that's in the shape of a book. And I've been wanting to see if I can make one, but it's actually a pretty big piece. I don't usually make clay pieces that large. And honestly, air dry clay is kind of hard to slab out like this. At least what I have. I don't know. So I'm working on that right now. I also wanted to talk about Etsy and the state of the handmade market. So, as you may know, Etsy has been having kind of like a drop shipper problem. It's been flooded, I would say, with a lot of print on demand, just like sellers who put everything on a t-shirt and they don't even produce them like in-house. And maybe they even create like algorithms to do the listings. It's somewhat unclear to me how much you can actually get like an algorithm to do for you, but it seems like it might be kind of a lot. And so Etsy introduced these 4 labels made by, designed by, handpicked by, and sourced by. And this is an effort to give consumers like the choice to filter out certain types of things. So, for example, like vintage and like thrift resellers, I think those would fall under handpicked by. The handpicked one's really weird, actually. I don't really know how that one is different than sourced by. I think sourced by could be like you picked products from a manufacturer who is like already making them, kind of like what boutiques do, but like online. And then made by and designed by. Made by is supposed to be like more handmade, although it doesn't carry the connotation of necessarily like you created every single aspect of this, because a lot of people like buy blank t-shirts, blank sweatshirts, and then like put something on them, and that's like still fairly handmade. And then designed by, like if you got your sticker manufactured somewhere, that would be designed by. You entirely made the art, but you didn't like manufacture the sticker yourself. I think this is like a good attempt, but to me, like, I don't really see how this helps the drop shipping thing. And also the labels, like when you go to the listings, they're like super unobtrusive. If I search scarf and then I do filters, I can't even filter it by these tags. I can only do all items in vintage. Yeah, and I would say most of these are not handmade. Let's see if I can find one. Yeah, the labels are like really deep on the description of each item and not very noticeable. So I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to do out here to like preserve the state of the handmade market. It's not something I do professionally, but like I'm just coming at this as from the perspective of like a consumer of handmade goods, I guess. I would like prefer to know. I guess especially when I'm buying like t-shirts and stuff. I really want to know if somebody's manufacturing them in-house and they're doing like screen printing, and you know, because you're probably going to get a very high quality shirt from that versus like some sellers really try to make it look like that's what's happening, but in fact you're going to get something that was print on demand, uses a different process. And I think a lot of these sellers like are scraping art from different social media, different artists on social media, and they're not necessarily owning those designs, right? Which is a big problem. Like I want to support the designer directly. That's a big deal to me. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a weird thing. What do you think about Etsy? Do you still use Etsy to buy handmade stuff, or have you kind of given up? Do you sell on Etsy? I'm curious to know what other people think about it. Reddit seems to wholly be like, this isn't working out very well. I can't quite tell if you can label your own stuff or if it just like determines it for you with some sort of AI. I saw some mixed accounts about that. God damn, I am struggling. I was going to make a TikTok about this project, and I was going to make like a tutorial about how to use air dry clay. I have this one TikTok that like has tens of thousands of views and is like consistently getting notifications every day. That is like, in my opinion, a really bad tutorial, and my voice cracks right at the beginning. So I've been meaning to remake it, but every time I actually start a clay project like this, I am in my struggles so hard, so swiftly. Yeah, this is going to be kind of small. Like, this is cracking all over the place. Anyway, I'll check back in with you when I have, like, a shape. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if it's going to dry, but I'm at least going to try to sculpt this book shape right now. Hi, allow me to show you my little book. Look at it, it's so small. Okay, I'm gonna tip it this way and figure out smoothing out the bottom here, and then it'll dry better instead of flat on the silicone, you know? This part, I mean, it doesn't really need to be perfect, but it'd be nice if it were better than this. Hi guys, probably last update for me in this vlog. I'm kind of in my struggle era. I'm in bed. But I wanted to show you real quick my book tower. Look, it looks like it's floating. Okay, so basically it's these like different metal shelves that you screw into the wall that each hold like a stack of books. You just have to arrange them well, so it looks like there are no gaps at all. Very fun, and also like honestly a very efficient way to store a lot of stuff. So yeah, I'm having a bit of a day. I'm super achy, so I'm like laying on a heating pad right now, and the goal was like honestly to do a lot of work and edit this video, and it's already afternoon, so I genuinely don't know if I'm gonna get much done, but I'll probably relax for a little while longer, because, you know, that's what we're about in this household. I was very optimistic about the day when I put the red lipstick on. The thing is, Smokey has been waking me up kind of all day, kind of since 4 a.m. So, yeah, that's good. Not good quality sleep happening here. But yeah, that's it for this week. Very honest conclusion to my week. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. I'm trying to vlog and post videos more regularly, in case you haven't noticed. About 1 a week. I don't know. I'll probably get about 3 a month by how it's seeming. So yeah, make sure you subscribe if you're interested in seeing more from me. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Make sure you make something that makes you happy. And until next time, this is Rose. Other links down below for where you can find me, okay? Bye!